All right, let's turn our attention to Spain as we take a look at the odds for the Derby of Madrid on Sunday at the Metropolitano, home of Atleti. Real Madrid, ever slight favorites, which is interesting because, one, they're away from home, and two, no Kylian Mbappe. He's going to be missing this game. So why don't we break this one down, and we'll go international now. We're going to Madrid, where we've got Luis Garcia and Mario Suarez, a couple ex-Atleti guys, of course. Rabo's still with us as well. Boys, since you know what this rivalry is like, why don't you describe it for us a little bit and set the scene there? What's the vibe like in the city of Madrid, less than 48 hours now from kickoff?
Good evening, guys. It's excitement, of course. It's always a special game for both crowds, but two of the supporters. But actually, it's still very quiet yet. There's been a lot of games in the past 10 days, so everybody's looking forward to see what is going to be next. Tomorrow, I'm sure that the excitement around the stadium is going to be fantastic. It's true there is a special game, Mario. You've been there many times, but definitely, if it doesn't matter how you arrive to these kind of games, you could come in a fantastic momentum of the team, even of the players. But you don't never know. It's very difficult to call it. Now they're saying the favorite is Real Madrid because, of course, they are in a better momentum because of the results. Atletico Madrid, after the last game where they show again the other side of this Atletico Madrid for 45 minutes. Maybe in the last part we saw a better Atletico Madrid and they won in the last minute. But it's not the Atletico Madrid they were expecting this season with all the signing they did. But definitely it's going to be a tough game for both sides. What do you think, Mario? Prediction?
Well, I cannot say nothing else. I'm really happy to be here with Magic Luis. I'm so happy, and I'm totally agree with him. I think there is no favorites in this kind of matches. I think both sides, they are not playing well. They are not in their best moments. Even Atletico yesterday, the match was not the best for them. But Simeone is happy because they are not conceding goals. They just concede 3 goals. And he wants to grow his team from the defense side. So from the defense part. So let's see what we can see on Sunday. I expect a match where Atletico will defend and try to play counter-attack. And let's see what Ancelotti do, if he put Bellingham in front with Rodrigo and Vinicius and put one more midfielder, or he put Enrique. Let's see. But I expect a really good match, and hopefully Atletico can win.
Mario's voice there, a little hoarse. You think he's been at the place that Dan goes all the time and does the karaoke spot over there? You think he's been hanging out?
Banned from going any further.
Hanging out with Magic Luis. We got to figure out what that's about. All right, boys, listen, one of the big talking points ahead of this game is rest, right? Real Madrid played their last game on Tuesday. Atleti, as Mario just mentioned there, played their last league game yesterday, Thursday, a 1-0 victory over Celta Vigo. This question has been brought up to the president of La Liga, Javier Tebas. Let's hear what he had to say.
La Liga tiene la potestad también de hacer su propio calendario y sin embargo tienen un derbi ahora con un equipo con menos descanso que el otro que va a jugar.
Pero eso pasa, es que en una liga con 38 jornadas y con jornadas que se juegan entre semana, pues hay alguien que tiene que descansar más o menos, si no tendrían que jugar todos los equipos a la vez el miércoles. Para este fin de semana también tenía yo otros 2 equipos que se quejaban porque su rival jugaba el martes y no jugaba el miércoles y tenían menos descanso. Pero entonces solo habría que jugar todos a la misma hora el miércoles para que todos descansasen igual. Vamos a ver, yo en eso...
Pero le entiende el Atlético.
Bien, pero la pregunta es, ¿suficiente un descanso de jueves a domingo? Los equipos que juegan Europa League en España solo pueden descansar de jueves a domingo y juegan toda la temporada así. Y el entrenador y los técnicos entienden qué es, por lo tanto, ¿por qué no lo va a entender el Atlético de Madrid y sus jugadores? Ya le tocará otro cambio seguro en esta temporada. Hay muchas jornadas para ese tema.
Luis, Mario, you hear the words there from Tebas. How big a deal is this?
I think that it's always going to be a concern, of course. You know that you have to rotate, you know you have to change players. For Real Madrid, for Atletico Madrid, it's going to be in a different scenario. For Atletico Madrid, we saw that during the midweek game, already Simeone was trying to give a little bit of rest to some players. We saw Correa, we saw Rodrigo de Paul, we saw Julian Alvarez starting into the second half. I think ahead of what it was going to be the derby. But in the end, I kind of agree with Javier Tebas, because we all know that it's very difficult to try to give everything to what they are expecting for the teams. The teams they know that they're gonna be it's gonna be a very long season. There are gonna be games every 3 days, almost like that, and that's why they are trying to make a bigger squads where you can rotate a little bit more. We are talking about two teams that they play every single year over 60 games plus, so they know that they have to continue rotating. They're going to play from Saturday to Wednesday to Saturday once again, so I'm sure that they understand. Of course, there is no point to make excuses. Right now is the way it is, and you have to accept it this way.
Mario, what do you think? Unfair advantage for Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think the same. To be honest, it's not the best situation for Atletico to rest 2 less days than Real Madrid, but it is what it is. They have to play on Sunday, and when they arrive on Sunday, they are not going to be thinking about what if they play on Thursday and Real Madrid on Tuesday. It's a final, it's a derby, so they must win to put in front or to pass Real Madrid in the classification. So I think that we are in September also, so they are not so tired. And the calendar, it is what it is. So I think they must win, they must play the game, and let's see.
As we mentioned, Kylian Mbappe out. We just saw the headlines there from us. He's going to miss 3 weeks. Robbo, can Real Madrid survive this game without him?
Yes, they can. They did last season, not this game in particular, because they lost against Atletico Madrid away from home. But for most of the season, they didn't have Kylian Mbappe. They played with two up front, Vinicius Junior playing out on the left-hand side, making runs infield. And that's probably what he's going to do. I don't think he can afford to have Bellingham in the number 10 role in this game. He's going to have to play on the left-hand side, and he might have to play in a 4-4-2 with Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo up front. And it's still a very good team, and a team I still think will be better than Atleti.
Mario, how much hope does Mbappe's absence give you ahead of this game from an Atleti perspective?
Well, I think they will be happy that he cannot play. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. He scored an amazing goal the other day. He was growing every match. So it must be a relief for Atletico players, Atletico coach. And I totally agree. I think they are going to play with Bellingham in that position to put one more player in the midfield. I don't know, Modric, Camavinga, if he's available. And both teams have very good players on the bench to change the match. Also Atletico Madrid with Correa. But Real Madrid, I think you always miss a player like Mbappe. But if you are the best team in the world and you have the players that you have, I think that will not be a problem for Real Madrid.
Not at all.
Shaka, is there an argument here to be made that maybe it's easier for Ancelotti without Mbappe? He could just go back to what he was doing last year?
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Well, certainly in terms of selection and how you're going to play, because that's how they play. That was the personnel that Ancelotti relied on all of last season. So Mbappe's injury kind of eases that headache, so to speak. But the truth is, Mbappe is going to be there for the long term. It was always going to be on Ancelotti how to figure out how to play Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe in the same team to start with. Rodrigo continues to show his value to Real Madrid. And then with Jude Bellingham, can you play all four? How do you rotate them? Tactically, how do you make those adjustments? And while I thought the season started a little bit poorly in that regard, I thought it started to click, and things were just starting to fall in place. So while that was progressing nicely, albeit a little bit belatedly, all of a sudden now you have to go back to, maybe square one without Kylian Mbappe and start to build those relationships again. But in terms of this game and Kylian Mbappe not being available, yes, you'd love to have him, but the fact that he's injured, I don't think similarly causes Ancelotti any sleepless nights.
Mbappe, 5 goals in his first 7 La Liga appearances after a somewhat slow start. As the boys were mentioning, the recent history between these two, quite interesting, especially when it comes to last year and Atleti's success, one of the only teams that had success against Real Madrid last year. One of the differences for this Atleti team this year is, of course, the addition of Julian Alvarez, who caught up with our Martin Einstein ahead of the derby madrileño.
Me llevas a esa charla, siempre hay una, ¿no? Que te dice, me convenció. Me dijo algo que dije, quiero ir por ahí, quiero seguir ese camino.
Bueno, creo que fue una de las primeras que tuve, que me explicó un poco cómo funcionaba el club, lo que quería de mí, lo que esperaba de mí, bueno, el proyecto que se viene en el club para este año y los que vienen.
¿Y qué es lo que te hizo clic? ¿Qué es lo que te gustó de eso que te dijo?
Bueno, la forma en la que él vive el fútbol, la pasión con la que se lo ve, que lo que transmite, bueno, no solo el Cholo, sino todo el equipo en la cancha, era algo que me llamaba la atención y también porque pensaba que es un lugar en el que puedo encontrar mi mejor versión, entonces también fue por ese lado.
¿Ayuda el llegar a un sitio donde con varios de los chicos tenés una historia en común que te marcó tanto además como el Mundial?
Sí, obviamente, porque bueno, gente que uno conoce, amigos y como decía, al haber compartido tantos momentos, por ejemplo en la selección y más obteniendo títulos, eso hace que la unión sea aún más fuerte, entonces llegar a un lugar donde conoces gente se hace todo mucho más fácil.
Julián, se viene el derbi, probablemente el listón para ver cómo está, ¿no? El Atleti.
Pero sí, obviamente que el derbi es muy importante, quizás también uno de los más importantes del mundo y tener la posibilidad de estar acá, de jugarlo es muy lindo, pero sí que va a ser un partido muy importante para todos, pero tampoco no deja de ser un partido más dentro de la liga.
All right, boys, so obviously when you come over with an $80 million or $100 million price tag, there's huge expectations. Mario, Luis, how do you feel Julian Alvarez has gotten off to his start at life at Atleti?
Well, actually, I was very, very excited the moment that the Atletico Madrid rumors were there that they wanted to sign Julian Alvarez, because I think he was a very, very interesting player, and I think he suits very well the style of play of the Simeone club. I think that he's the style of player who runs during the 90 minutes, he's putting under pressure every single defender, and when he's near the box, he's so dangerous, he's so clever. Once he needs to get into the pockets or running behind or try to use the spaces where he was arrived. We saw the other day that fantastic cross from Griezmann, but he was arriving at the right spot at the right time, and that's something that Julian Alvarez knows how to do well. So expectations are very high, but definitely I think that he's going to cope with all of them. He started very slowly because he needs to adapt. Everyone needs to know him a little bit, know how he likes to play, to drop, to run to the space. But in the end, I think he will find out the way. And again, I think that he suits very well the style of play of Simeone, and he will do a fantastic season. So far, only 2 goals, but I expect a lot more, Mario.
Yes, you said one thing that is key. When he's close to the goal, to the opponent goal, he's so dangerous. He scores goals, but the problem is that he's playing a lot of time in a position that is not his best position. Mm-hmm. He played in Vallecas as a left fullback. He played the other day midfield, and I think when he's playing close to Sorloth or to Griezmann in front, is where he's dangerous. I miss Atletico playing sometimes with the 3 players in front, because Simeone put when he played with the 3 players, he put Griezmann in midfield or Julian on the side. So I think Simeone has to improve, and the players needs to adapt to what Simeone wants for them. So I expect a lot from Julian Alvarez. He's an amazing player, and I think he can give a lot to Atletico and to score a lot of goals, and is what the people is going to demand him. But I think it's a really good signing.